never sleeps, and neither do the dreamers who build its pulse. From every corner of the globe they come. Visionaries, creators, leaders, each carrying a spark ready to ignite the world. This is not an event. It's a revolution of rhythm and reason. A symphony of minds. A movement of momentum. Sifu Rafael, Lancelot, Jose Escobar. Together they set the stage for brilliance. This is the NYC Experience Mastermind. Light up the city. They coming from the east, coming from the west. Knowledge on deck, put the truth to the test. Leaders in motion, hearts in sync, dropping wisdom so deep it'll make you think. They bring stories, sweat and flame, different faces, one shared name. Elevation, that's the sound. NYC Experience Mastermind, where purpose is found.
Good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yo, magic.
Does it to me every time. Yo, I love it. Yo, what's going on, Jose? You're like a midget. I love it. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good to see you guys.
Yes.
Good morning, Matt. Good morning, Matt.
Good morning, Matt. How you doing? Man, he is.
So I love this topic, the evolution of rooms, right? Think about the power in the rooms that you either walk out of or into. I'd rather walk into a powerful room and stay. That's just me.
I agree, Sifu. There's something about walking into a room from the door where you feel the energy. It just creates this elevation within yourself, and you want to contribute to that energy. But when you walk into a room that doesn't have that, it's either, okay, what can I do to shift it? Or I need to find my exit strategy.
Well, I tell you, Tampa, we always go back to Tampa, but it's such a great example.
That's the last what we remember. So it makes sense to go back to Tampa.
Yes. But I can remember walking into Tampa because I got there a day late because I had other commitments. But in walking into the room, you immediately felt a gravitational pull, and everybody seemed to be on the same page. And and people were coming up and introducing themselves, and it just had a different feel. Again, I've been to a few of these, but this was definitely a room that had something special in it. You know, and you could feel it from the time you walked in the room, and just how people greeted you. You could feel it was just an aura in the air, which was beautiful.
Yeah, I would.
Well, think about Tampa didn't finish. We're still talking about it. Go ahead, Jose.
I was going to say, I believe the topic today is important. I think it's very real, the evolution of rooms, because rooms need to evolve. If it's the same kind of experience every time, it's eventually it has a kind of the dull end of a knife, right? So you got to keep sharpening the axe. You got to stay sharp. You got to stay relevant. You got to stay competitive. You got to stay vibrant, refreshing, exciting, magnetic. I mean, these are all things that as to why people go to events. So the rooms have to evolve over time. Otherwise, what's the point of going to just another event, right? And if you notice, there's a lot of verbiage out there in social media today. It's like, this is not just another this, right? It's like a common thing that people are saying, because a lot of the rooms are just another room. So our goal here with New York City Mastermind is to evolve the rooms, to make them more unique, more special, more vibrant, to make sure people are actually getting real results and coming back and saying, you know what, I got to go back because this and this and this happened. And it's a rare thing where I've been to 10 events and this is the one event that separated a lot of the other events. And that's really what it's about.
It's good morning, Angeline. But it's interesting when it actually happens. Theoretically, that's great. but it actually happened. But how did it happen? That's the interesting thing. Is it because of things that we did, or was it things that the people in the room, or it was a collection of both? But there was definitely a shift, and it's it's good to say that. But when it actually happens, let's analyze how that happened. What did we do? What did they do? How did all of that evolve into such a spectacular event in Tampa? That's a question.
I think that's a great question. And it's the mindset. When each individual has a responsibility, when you go somewhere, it's not just to take up space and soak up the energy from the room. You absolutely should get something from that. You should have the expectation, but the other expectation is to manage how you show up. What is it, your intention for that? What are you going to give to the room? And I think that plays a lot into it, because if a person walks into a room closed, this is just every other experience, that's exactly what you're going to get. It's going to be every other experience. But coming open, curious, and ready to contribute, I think that helps to shift the room in the right direction. And it's collective. It's not just one person, but one person can be that conduit that makes the others shift.
And it wasn't just people speaking on the stage. It was the connections in between, the masterminds that we curated. It was the before events. It was the after events. Some of us met for breakfast. Some of us hung out late at night. It was all the great conversations that happened. Because if we all just went to the room, listened to a speaker, and we all left, that's what most events are like. And a lot of times you go to a room and it's such a big room that there is no way to connect with as many people, because now all of a sudden you have this little niche, like you're not going to go over there, you're going to miss out over here. And with us, I think the way we've curated the room, it's about us even introducing each other to others. So for example, if I see Renee and Renee has not spoken to Dan, I'm going to go, Dan, you need to talk to Renee. And so we're curating that, and we're making sure everyone is connecting. And that's how we've made the rooms that much bigger, even though they're small with the amount of people, but the room feels big because the connections are more meaningful.
Yeah, it's a whole quality versus quantity. I would rather be in a room with 20 engaged people than be in a room with 200 people and nobody really spoke to anybody. And it's like people in their own pockets. And it's like you're back in high school cafeterias where people hang out in their own little table.
Yes.
It's just a matter of, and it can be both, right? I'm not saying it's just if there's too many people that it's not quality. I'm just saying that I would prefer quality over quantity.
Without a doubt.
Good morning to Matt and Emilio. Yes.
Good morning. Jose, I would definitely agree with your point there, because I've been to big conferences and rooms, and it was okay for me to be in the corner by myself and feel like I was on an island, even though I was in the room. And the difference I felt in Tampa was every single person, from my perspective, took accountability to make sure nobody was on the island within the room. And, when you tried to, get that moment just to step aside, it was, someone would engage with you intentionally. And so I love those moments. So even though we have the presentations, but it was those moments after that helped to activate and really to seal the learning and the connections. So those are the powerful moments. So don't miss those. And in the past, I would run from those because I don't want to be like the awkward kid who's sitting by themselves or not chosen to dance. And every single person is chosen if you're open to it and get uncomfortable, because the people in the room are not going to allow you to do that. If you want to be in the room and if you want change, then you have to be open to it, and that's exactly what you'll get.
I would dance with you. I would dance with you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna, before you go, Lancelot, I just want to, because it's top of mind. Jose talked about quality over quantity, right? Jose, you and I bumped into each other countless of times until we finally said, enough is enough. Let's get into each other's worlds. And that reason was because we were in big rooms. The rooms that we met, or we didn't really meet. We just saw each other and kind of like, hey, how you doing? Those rooms were so big, and they were not curated the way we've curated the rooms, because had Jose and I met at the New York City Mastermind Experience, 10 years ago, we would have had a relationship right away. Yeah. But it took us time, and we eventually said, man, and Jose said it beautifully, we keep seeing each other. We might as well become friends, right?
Yeah, because it was
happy that we did, by the way.
It was like, good to see you again. Like, it was like that verbiage of like, good to see you again. Oh, let's stay in touch. You have my number, right? Yeah, I have your, like, but it was like very like almost like
surface level.
Surface level, like what you say. Like, everybody, when they see each other, they haven't seen each other in a while, your intention is to catch up, or to say, hey, let's get together, or hey, call me, or whatever. And that's the intention. But again, intentions don't really move the needle. It's only when you've spent quality time with somebody and you've exchanged some value, and there's been some attempt to collaborate or to serve each other, only then do the relationships go to another level. And you and I never did that until we made it a concerted effort. In the thousands of people, we said, hey, you know what? And then that's kind of how it happened. So
first, good morning.
That at our events. That's why the evolution of rooms is how we noticed that this was happening left and right, because we've been to so many events, all of us, right? And so we said, we need to change the dynamic of every room we curate. And so many friendships. And the reason that you even brought up Tampa, Lancelot, is because people are still connecting from Tampa.
Yes,
people look at Angeline. She came to New York City Mastermind Experience in New York. She came to Tampa. We've had so many people. Now the question is, why are you not coming? We have it across the screen, New York City Mastermind Experience.com. What's your excuse? Or are you waiting for the right room? Meanwhile, you don't realize that we have the right room ready for you.
Well, I gotta say, go ahead, Lancelot, after you.
Okay, so I want to circle back on what Renee said, but first I want to say good morning to Angeline and Marco. She had said something that was so accurate, and I want to just expound on that. And that is that everybody took accountability for who they were and how they were representing themselves in the room. And I think that was the difference. As I tried to analyze what makes this different than the last one we did, I think, including myself, we all took accountability for who we were, and then we also took accountability in how we continue to keep in contact. We all, Angeline, I've been in contact with, Renee, I've been in contact with, Leon, we've all taken responsibility and have kept the connection going. And I think that is a difference maker, because it keeps the Tampa experience fresh in your mind, because you're constantly communicating with the people that were at the experience itself. And as I think about it, I think that's what it is. And it's doing the work. It's work. It's work, not hard work, but it's doing the work afterwards, during and before, that really counts and really matters. Yes.
Absolutely.
Good points. I was going to say earlier that back, I guess I've been going to events for slightly over 2 decades, really. Yeah, I've been going to a lot of events. I mean, I all the way from back when I was going to Amway events when I was, 18 years old. I'm 43 now, but and those were coliseums, like not literally coliseums, but like arenas full of people and big names. And I saw John Maxwell for the first time
Yeah.
when I was 19 on those stages, and it was like a business environment of networking. So I've been in so many events, I've lost count and lost track of all the events I've been to. But I can say back then, what people say the flex, right? The flex used to be, I got into the room back in the day. Like that's like the verbiage that was dropped a lot back then. It's like, I was able to get into the room. But now it's not so much that. Now, and this is many, many years later, I believe now it's the real flex, for lack of better words, is alignment, intention, execution. Right. It's the ability to go into the rooms. That's a given now because rooms are everywhere now. But it's also, what do you do with that room? Is the room in alignment with where you're going? Did you collaborate? Did you get some kind of result? Right. Not rooms are all created equal. Because you can have proximity, but if you don't have purpose, well, you're dead in the water. Right. So the question is not who's in the room. The question is, does this room align with where I'm going? So thoughts to come.
Ooh, okay.
Some powerful nuggets, Jose. I'm like writing those down. You're speaking my language when you talk about alignment. It's a feeling, and they have to go together. So your intention doesn't really matter if there's no execution behind that. But the alignment is that thought of, is this where I need to be? Is this aligned with my internal compass of my core values? And with this, how is that going to show up in what I bring to the room? So powerful.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
We have a lot of amazing people showing up live today. So good morning, everyone.
Yes.
Absolutely. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And even with speaking of the rooms, I'd like to speak about what we do every Tuesday morning at 7 a.m. I find that, first of all, proximity is power, right? But I want to say this to you guys, I get something out of every one of these things, these morning programs on Tuesday that we do. I get something out of it. So I know people are watching. If you're listening, you're getting something out of it. Last week, or was it 2 weeks ago, we talked about morning routine, right? And Jose brought up, I do a morning routine, but I also I have an evening routine. Now, I never even thought about that. I just do the morning routine. So I went back a few days later and I read a couple of, I went to your book, Jose, and then I started thinking about what could I do? Because obviously it works, because you look at Jose, he's successful and he's morning, and I'm the type of person where if somebody's doing something that's working, shit, I'm gonna do the same thing. So I came up with figuring out and it's my third day doing it, Jose, and this is because of you, is before I go to bed, I write down something that I did today that I'm proud of. Something, whether it's I moved the needle, I helped it, whatever that might be, I write down now. And this is my third day, and I hope I continue to do this because it's a great way to go to bed. But that was because of 2 weeks ago, we talked about morning routines. And then Jose brought up the fact that he has a evening routine as well. So these shows that we're doing are powerful as well, not just the rooms that we're curating, the shows that we're curating also. And I just want to say that. And I'm sure, and I hope this gets out to more and more people, because this is beneficial for everybody. I really believe that.
You're spot on. Last, I can tell you, like, we're not here like preaching from the pulpit, right? We're not here saying we're better than anybody and you need to listen to us and we're the gurus. No, we're here. We're in the trenches with everybody.
Yes.
So all the people that are watching this live, and or catching a replay, and you're thinking like, man, I'm kind of doing this too, or what about, I should be highlighted because, hey, we're in this thing together. right? None of us have arrived. My whole philosophy in life and in business is I have not arrived. There's more learning to do, more people to serve, more impact to create. There's too much that we still need to do. So we are still learning. We're still figuring things out. And I come here on Tuesday mornings with you guys, and I'm always chiseled and I'm always pushed. And I always feel inspired and I feel motivated. And I also check myself and I say, well, I'm not really doing that, or I would never even heard that before. And that's what we're all here to do, because we're all lifelong learners and we're all learning from each other.
Yes,
Absolutely. I'm going to share a few really good looking guys with you. Take a look.
We are here in Tampa, Florida for the NYC Mastermind Experience. It was an absolutely epic weekend.
This was our fifth one, the sixth one.
Coming up in Hot Atlanta, that's right, Atlanta, Georgia, and our host, the great T.O. Clay.
Hey, you don't want to miss it. Come September, the new Hollywood of the South, ATL, baby. Make sure from NY to Tampa to Atlanta, Georgia. Can't wait to see you there. Peace.
Light up the city, every rise tonight. Every speaker bringing down in that fire, that light. No fronting, no fear, just truth on the mic. It's the NYC life, we unite, light up.
And if you have a banana, you can come to Atlanta too.
I have a question that I would love to throw out is when you're thinking about evolving the experience, and I'm saying this to all of you, what is your thought? What's your mind of or vision of planning the next experience so that it's not just a different location, but the same thing?
Here's some thoughts that I've been putting together for the next one. I want to, there's a couple of apps that I've used. One is Wova. And what happens with certain apps is that you give it to everybody who's attending, and they automatically, there's competitions, there's things, there's private meetings that can go on. There's all these different little, not clicks, but meetings and discussions that happen in the background. And people take pictures and it all comes together. So that's something that I started looking at. It's not cheap. So therefore, we need people to be in the room first before we even get into something like that. But I think technology will help us to even make deeper connections. And so when I think about how can we use technology to really evolve with every room we curate, and it's about deeper connections. So the technology that we can use is to create the deeper connections, to be able to text everybody. In the past, if you guys recall, I've done videos where I tell people what to do, how to get there, take pictures, do this, do that, and send us pictures. Here's the thing that has not happened. People take pictures and they don't send them to us. So we cannot take those pictures and create videos like the one I just showed you. So we do have a crew who takes pictures, but sometimes behind the scenes would be even better. So for anybody who's coming to our future events, take the pictures, share them with us. And we're also going to be looking at an app that we can give to everybody so that they can take pictures. You ever been to a wedding and there's a camera there and everybody takes pictures and then you leave it there because they're going to develop it? Well, we don't want to leave a camera there, but you can take pictures on your phone and just share them. And I think that's how we can capture moments that even the photographers who are there won't be able to capture because they're more intimate, they're more personable, and they allow us to truly see what the room is like. Because Lancelot might be in a different spot in the room, Jose might be in a different spot, I may be in a different spot, Theo may be in a different spot, and then somebody else may be having a conversation. They'll take even a picture of Jose or Lancelot or myself or Renee or anybody else, and it's a picture that maybe the photographer didn't get. So when we can connect that way, that's how we can see behind the scenes. And I think that will help people understand that there's no such thing as a perfect room, but there's a room that can keep building and building like what we keep doing. So therefore, those are some of the things that I'm considering for Atlanta.
Nice.
I want to chime in on this real quick. And great question, Renee, and good points, Sifu. I love that idea of an app where we can collect and put pictures. I think that's great. I've got to say that, I guess to kind of going back to your question, Renee, a lot of rooms, since that's what we're calling it, right? The events that people go to, a lot of the rooms that were like popular back in the day were like information rooms, right? Like it used to be about information. It used to be like, I'm going to get golden nuggets. I'm going to get these quotes. I'm going to get these, whatever the thing is. And there's all kinds of informational pieces that we would get. We're missing this golden link here. That's like that thing I need to learn. And that's true. And that will always be true to an extent, right? Because we're always going to learn. And notice how last time we talked about notes. So there's always going to be notes we're going to take. There's always going to be the books that we're going to fill up and those things. But again, back then, and I say back then, just a few years back and way big before that, it was about learning. Now the rooms must drive action, right? So in the time that we're in now, information rooms, I guess you could say, has been ruined by two things that we all know very well: Google,
AI,
right? Google and AI really killed the information-only room, because everybody was going to these events to learn and to grow, and people still do that, but it's not the main reason why people are doing that. Now the rooms that separate you from other rooms, there has to be a sense of application and accountability. And if people are not going to get that accountability and the ability to apply, like the actual tools or the strategies or the techniques of how they're going to actually implement the things they're learning, they're not going to be held accountable. They're not going to be checked in on, or potential collaborations are going to come from it. Then it just becomes motivation, right? If you're going to these rooms, these events, and you're walking out of these places unchanged and just inspired, then the room failed you.
Absolutely. I think when we consider the rooms that we're talking about, right? And I love the fact that you talked about, if you go in and you come out unchanged, the room failed you. And when you consider the fact that the conversations that are being held in the rooms that we've curated are conversations that don't end in the room, they continue. Because I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, thank you for this room. This room truly changed how I thought about rooms. I now will be coming to more of your events. And for somebody to say that, somebody who maybe they've been to so many events and have been burnt, if you will, because every time they go, it's just they're throwing money away. So we're not suggesting that you throw your money away. I love money, so before you throw it away, just pass it this way. I'm just saying, right? So think about the investment that you're making in the room and your return on your investment. That's ROI. And if you don't follow up, if you don't tend to your investment, you will not know where your investment is or where it's going. If it's going up, if it's going down. So we need to be able to, when we go to any event, we need to create the space for us to follow up, follow through, and reach out as many times as it is needed for people to be able to say, hey, you know what? I really do want to connect with you. There's a reason I was in that room as well. I'm so happy I got to meet you. Jose and I eventually said enough is enough. We said, you know what? Whether the rooms forced us to do it, that didn't happen. We took initiative. So we said, finally, we need to look at the investment that we both have made. We both made an investment separately, but then we invested in each other. And that's how we are where we are today, because of that investment. I'm in Jose's world, he's in my world, because of that investment that we both said, we need to take.
Nice.
Well, I feel obligated to piggyback off that. So if there's more than 2 seconds of silence, I'm going to jump in, just so you know, guys. But I was going to say that thank you. Good to see you, Emilio, this morning, and Isleth and Gabby,
Nice to
all
meet you.
amazing people tuning in live. As we are talking about the evolution of rooms, because I think that's a valid point, is how rooms evolve over time. And it's important to analyze that, to observe it, to see what the trends are, to see where things are going. A lot of us, by the time we realize what's happening, it already happened, right? It's like, it's already past you, like Blockbuster and Netflix, right? And we have like tons of examples we can give. But back then, as rooms were like what they were, it was all about business cards. And have you noticed that it's like handing out business cards? It was like, how many business cards can I hand out? How many business cards can I collect before I go home? Like, that's what it was. That's what the rooms were. It was like quick, fast, transactional networking and quick deals and intentional statements like, oh, let's connect. Hey, let's stay connected. Right. That's what it used to be. Now it's about real relationships and long-term partnerships. That's how we've evolved. That's how the rooms have evolved. And that's what we're here to create. Right. People are tired, frankly, of these like surface level conversations and little quick exchanges of business cards. The real ROI. Okay. And I'm going to say real, capital letters. The real ROI comes from depth, not from volume. Okay, how deep can I go with this person? Not how many people can I connect with. That is the power of what we do, and that's why I love the meetings after the meetings.
That's what I want to talk
Why
about.
do you think the meetings after the meetings was created?
Yes.
Why do you think that's something special that I love about all the events that we do? Because that's where the real magic happens, if you ask me. But again, it's not so much about the how many people you spoke to. It's about how many relationships you developed, and that requires more intentionality.
Absolutely.
And
Let me share this
yes.
before you go on. One more share. Take a look. And then you come back, Lancelot. And then Renee, we need to hear from you too.
The Mastermind Experience has been unforgettable. And I say that because the connection in the room is outstanding. You never know what you're going to get at these events, but there's something that you gain from everybody here. So I encourage you to come to the Mastermind, again, with no expectations, but you're going to leave with your cup overfilling. You get encouragement, motivation. It's not salesy. This is not that type of environment. Very laid back. It's about connection and sharing ideas.
That's it. Sharing ideas.
And
Go ahead, you guys.
piggyback on what that young lady just said on the video, but also to go back to what Renee had question originally was what is going to make this experience different. I think it's continuing to up the level of connection and through the meetings after the meetings. And Jose had brought up a good point. That's why we have the meetings after the meetings. And the first time I experienced that, I didn't understand why we were doing this. But then once he said it, I got it. You know what I mean? He had me out 3 o'clock in the morning in a cigar bar. And I was like, this is enough. I'm tired, man. I can't do this no more. And he was saying, listen, everything I do is strategic. And he said, I do this because the more meetings you go to after the meetings, you really drop down and you get a chance to really know who the person is. And once he said that, I woke up and it was like, okay, this is for a reason. You know, so I think one of the ways we continue to build on the incredible experience that we're co-creating with the New York City Experience is in Atlanta. We got boots on the ground. We got my man T.O., who's from there, that's setting up different events for us to go to continue to connect with one another, which I think is what really was one of the major things that separates us from everyone else, is those meetings after the meetings, working on those after hour connections, which are special and which are the things that encouraged me to continue the relationships. You and I, Renee, connected at the restaurant, And I kept saying, I haven't been able to talk to her. And we sat next to each other at the restaurant and connected, if you remember.
Yes.
And those are the things that really make the experience and elevate the experience to another level.
Mhm. And Lancelot, those connections, that was the piece that almost the secret sauce for me is those connections, because prior to, I would think, oh, the exchange of the business cards, that was the end of the connections. But this, it was so much more and so more intentional of strategically, making sure you're sitting next to someone differently at dinner or sit at lunch, or even we take a break, sit next to someone different. And it gave you a chance to engage with that person. If you come with that expectation, you're going to get something from it. I say either you're going to work the opportunity or you're going to waste the opportunity. If you're investing in yourself, don't waste it. Make it matter that you are in the room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But think about it. It's the experience that really we're all going there for. Because if it was just the room, if it was just me going there to listen to somebody speak, I can watch them on YouTube. It's the experience. That's what makes it different. The experience, not because you're getting on a Ferris wheel or a roller coaster. That's not the experience we're talking about. The experience of connecting with another human being, to talk and ask real questions, not like, how's your day kind of nonsense. It's more of what's important in your life, what's going on, what all these different little conversations that keep evolving as the night progresses. And like everybody knows what happens is people let their guard down. They're no longer more polished here. It's more like, hey, you know what? Let's just relax and just take my jacket off and let's even listen to some music. Oh, I like that song. You're having a cigar. I don't smoke cigars. You guys know that. But I am in the room. I don't care that I'm not doing what you're necessarily enjoying, because I'm enjoying the conversations. So we all go for different reasons, right? But the true outcome is, what are you doing? And Renee said it. What are you doing with your time? Are you investing it or are you wasting it? And by me being in that space, even though I don't smoke, I'm investing it. Every minute is time I don't have with my family. It's time I don't have doing different things. So I am investing that time. And so when we go to events, I know that I'm going to see Lancelot and Jose May 29th and 30th. We're going to be in Philly. And then we're going to be at another event in August. And then we're going to be at our event in September. It's because we're investing in ourselves. So the question I have for everybody listening, are you investing in yourself? And how often are you doing it? Because if you think about this, if we said to you, hey, there's this new company, it's the internet kind of thing. It's called Google. All you have to do is invest $1,000. You want to? And if everybody passes on it, I'm not going to invest $1,000. I'm going to invest a heck of a lot more, because I already know what's happened. But we don't know what's going to happen. So sometimes you have to blindly invest. But as long as you're investing in you, you can't go wrong.
Amen. I like that.
Well, I was going to say earlier, because I saw a comment that Angeline put in there, and she said her cutoff is like 12 midnight. I think she said I need to get my sleep, right? So I want to go back to that. And Angeline, I respect and I get that. You're not alone. There's a lot of people who like to get their sleep, right? So that's the comment right there. I love my sleep though midnight is max for me. Okay, so remember, it's not all about the meeting after the meeting after the meeting. Sometimes it's about the meeting before the meeting before the meeting. Okay. And I can tell you right now, I've had many relationships I've developed in the gym, in hotel rooms, and in coffee in the lobby in the morning before the meeting, right? So many conversations. I actually built a great relationship with Dave Hurley in person at the Omni Bedford Springs. We spent an hour together in the morning. We did a workout together and we had coffee, and we had some of the deepest conversations and things that I wouldn't talk to him normally during the day in the meeting, right? And that's the power of, it doesn't matter on the front or the back end, right? And even if you are in the meeting after the meeting after the meeting, you don't have to drink alcohol if you don't want to. There's something called mocktails. There's something called Coke.
Water.
There's something called water. There's something called coffee or tea, and you don't have to have cigars if you don't want cigars. So again, it's just a matter of making the effort to say, hey, I'm going to engage further, have deeper dialogue, and kind of see where the night could go, or where the morning could go before the meeting, because that's what it's about. So I'll end with this thought. And this thought is, since again, going back to the evolution of events and rooms and things like that, I have noticed for years of going to these events that it was, sitting, listening, and then leaving, right? Sitting, listening, leaving, warming up the seat. There's a lot of professional seat warmers in today's world, right? Today, the rooms that we're trying to create, the rooms that we have created essentially with New York City Mastermind Experience, is about engaging. It's about connecting. It's about contributing, right? Notice I didn't say sit, listen, and leave. I said engage, connect, and contribute. And I can tell you, as I observe the rooms, because I'm an engager, but I'm also an observer. I pay attention to what's happening, right? A lot of people don't pay attention that I'm observing a lot of the time, but I'm also engaging strategically, right? So I have observed that a lot of the highest earners, the people that have the biggest businesses, those other people that I have noticed are the ones working the room the most. And there's a direct correlation, because they understand the importance of being uncomfortable. They understand the importance of engaging and not being the first person to, not waiting for people to come say hi to you. They're extending their hand saying, hey, my name is AJ, what's your name? That kind of a thing, right? That's what people do. That's what we're supposed to do. Remember, and I'll end with this thought. I'm sure we've heard this quote before. Closed mouths don't get fed, right?
Mhm.
Many of us have heard that before. Closed mouths don't get fed, and silent attendees don't get remembered.
Hmm.
I'm going to tap into what you just talked about, Jose. And when you think about if we all went broke, the currency is not the finances. The currency is the people and the connections. That's where the real currency is. Because I know that if I lost everything, I can reach out to certain people that I've connected with, that we have a relationship, and I said, hey, I kind of need a hand up. Would you be willing to? And I know that those people would absolutely do so. And some already have. So when you think about currency, where is the currency that you're thinking about? If you're thinking about money, your head's in the wrong place. The currency is connections. True currency is connections. Because guess what? On the last day of your life, do you want to be in a bed by yourself with money all over around you? Or do you want to be in a bed with those that love you around you? I know my answer. What's yours?
I love that, Seafood. The currency of connection, it's so powerful, because when you think about this room is open to everyone, but we also don't want anyone or anything in the room. It's being able to protect the currency that's in there. And so the right people will show up in there who are seeking, who are curious, who are ready to be a part of an experience, who are ready to create an experience, not just soak it up. And so that currency of connection is powerful and it's contagious. And that's the piece, one of the pieces that I look forward to so much. I'm also not a cigar smoker, but I stepped out of my comfort zone and I was pleasantly surprised at how thoughtful the conversations were, how deep the conversations were. And it inspired me. I'm like, well, I'm not going to miss the next meeting after the meeting. I go to bed early, but getting my reps in so I can be prepared for September.
That's right.
Renee, you just talked about an investment, and for everybody who said, I go to sleep at midnight, guess what? I go to sleep around 10:30, 11 o'clock. Don't get me wrong, sometimes I wake up at 2. But when we are at an event, I'm out there too. I'm out there 2, 3 in the morning. And I remember exactly that day that you were talking about in the cigar bar, Lancelot, and we were in Philly, I believe. And what happened is you were falling asleep. And you were like, and when Jose said, I do everything with intention behind it, there's a reason why we're here. Everything is, and you were like,
Yeah.
I'm up now, right? Because the night before, you asked me for the car keys and you went and slept in the car while we closed down the place.
Yes, they were doing it every night, Renee. Every night.
But wait, it was Tio, Jose, myself. I think Mike was there with us.
Michael, yep.
And you. You left, and so it was just the 4 of us or 5 of us who closed down the place. And finally, the lady came over and she goes, guys, you gotta leave. I have to go home. Yep. So we finally said, okay. But I come back, you're sleeping in the car, I wake you up. But the next night, you were about to do the same thing. You probably were going to ask me for the keys again. But when Jose said what he said, something clicked in you. Something clicked in you. And you know what that was? It was the investment in what? Connections. That's what clicked in you.
Also, I think it's intentionality. Because once I understood, because this was all new to me, especially in Philly. This was these guys, the bar, the lady's trying to go, y'all still hanging. I'm going in the car to go to sleep, and then they did it the next day, and I was like, okay, I like hanging out, but this is crazy. But once he explained the intention of what it was about, then I had a motivation to work from, and not even surprisingly, but understandably so, you can tell yourself, I am not tired. That's why, Angeline, this is for you guys. I know you go to bed early, but sometimes when you're out there, do it for the team, as they say, because there's intention behind what we're doing. We're just not out there hanging out in a cigar bar. Each place that we go to is intentionally breaking down the masks so that you get a chance to see who the real person behind that name or that thing that you saw earlier that day. So once you understand the intention, you'd be surprised as a leader what you'll do to be a part of something that's a little later than you expected. You know what I mean? And I think for everybody that's important, that you understand the intention behind why you're doing it. Because if it's just to hang out like I thought, I was like, listen, I'm tired. But no, it wasn't about that. It was about connection, the thing that we continue to talk about. Mm-hmm. And once I figured that out, I said, I won't miss another meeting after the meeting.
So to piggyback off that, Lancelot, I'm glad you broke that down, because it's so true. I have been there before myself, right? Because there was a time where I didn't know what a meeting after the meeting was, right? Like I was in Amway. That's where I learned about that. I was in Amway, and There's a bunch of leaders and people making money in business and network marketing, and there was tapes and CDs and books and personal development and all that kind of stuff. And we went to conventions every quarter of the year, and it was just a great environment of growth and personal development and making money in the process, right? So I was involved there for, I don't know, 5 years maybe. Had some great mentors, some that are still mentors to this day, and really amazing lifelong friends I made there. And after a meeting, like it could be any meeting, it could be like a convention event, or it could be like a weekly, every week we would go to a hotel and they would do their presentation every Thursday night from 8 to 10. And then afterwards, you know what they would do? They would, after the 8 to 10, they would say, hey, okay, guys, if you're serious, only for the serious people, we're going to go to the meeting after the meeting, right? And then there would be an undisclosed location where you have to ask around, almost like a speakeasy. And you got to ask around, hey, where's this meeting after the meeting? Do you know where it is? Oh, no, I think I heard they said so. So you start asking around. They do this intentionally because they want to see who's real and who's not. They want to see who wants to keep it going and who's ready and who's not ready, right? Because not everybody's ready for the next level. So then they start. It was set up in a very strategic way, and then I was like, "Oh man!" I was enjoying this thing, and then I found out where the meeting after the meeting was, and we went there, and then afterwards, when the meeting was over, and this was like now almost midnight, yeah, if not midnight, and it's a weekday, guys, right? And then it's like, okay, and then they're like, "Okay, guys, listen, for those of you that are really serious," and I'm like, "How much more serious do I need to be?" I'm like, I feel I'm pretty serious. Like, is there more seriousness? Like, and they're like, for those of you who are really serious, we're gonna go to Shoney's after this, and we're gonna do the meeting after the meeting after the meeting, which is like the third tier. And at this point, the onion has been peeled back, and every time we went to the next place, less and less people would come. And then it would be like, I don't know, 7 or 8 of us at the actual last meeting at Shoney's until like 2 in the morning. But this is the environment where people talk about faith. This is the environment where people talk about family. This is where I have seen people drop tears. This is where I see people hug it out and say, I'm here with you and we're in this thing together, right? This is where vulnerability kicks in and people start talking about the truth of what it is and how it sucks sometimes when business is not going the right way, right? This is where things happen. And I said, this is something I have to stay a part of. And then eventually I just started doing that everywhere I went. I said, I'm just going to create a meeting after the meeting after the meeting, and the people are going to come or not come. And if they're serious, they will come.
Build it and they will come. That's right.
Yes.
Wow.
I'm going to share another video, guys. Take a look.
The New York City Mastermind Experience here in Tampa is like no other. The room is electric. The people are having a great time, and I'm so proud to be one of the speakers. I can promise you, if you're not at any of these events, you're missing out, because today was an incredible day, a life-changing day for everybody who was here. All of the New York City.
I didn't finish that because I wanted to. He said something that was so powerful. You need to be here. So let's do that again. Take a look.
The New York City Mastermind Experience here in Tampa is like no other. The room is electric. The people are having a great time, and I'm so proud to be one of the speakers. I can promise you, if you're not at any of these events, you're missing out, because today was an incredible day, a life-changing day for everybody who was here. All of the New York City Mastermind Experiences are a must-to go. If you're looking to impact your life and take it to the next level, if you're looking to improve your business, your relationship, your finances, any of those things and more, you have to be in the room to meet the right people. There's somebody in every one of these rooms that are going to impact you and change your life for the rest of your life. Why wait at home on the couch when you could be here doing something incredible?
I want to say something really, really critical. Right now, we're basically giving it away. The prices are ridiculously low, but they won't stay there. So for up to the first 20 people, we're getting there. After that, the prices go up. So if you're looking to get into the room with us, do it. Do it today. You know what happens to people who procrastinate?
What?
Nothing. Nothing happens.
There is something that happens. There is something that happens.
Actually, yes, there is. Nothing happens.
Procrastinate. The people who procrastinate end up paying procrastination tax.
That's
right,
right.
right. That's right.
Okay.
Or
And
they
all that-
totally miss out.
You end up doing the same thing you were going to do anyway. You just pay more money for it.
Right, right.
And that's what's going to happen. So for the first 20, we have an incredible deal. And then the price goes up. And then for the next 20 after that, we have another great deal in case you missed it the first time because you were thinking about it. And then after that, the price really goes up. So are you going to wait for the price to go up? Because if that's the case, talk to me. I want to sell you something else.
Big shout out to my man Chris Wesley, who signed up already. He's my man. You know, I told him about it. He was like, "Oh yeah, I've been watching you guys."
Well, you know who's going to be a speaker at our event? We got Renee right here. She's going to be a great speaker at our event. She was an incredible speaker in Tampa. We're just very fortunate to have her again with us. Yes. And she's going to be, Jose, I don't know if you know this, but Lancelot is about to go shoot another movie. And while he's on the set, you can tell us, Lancelot, while he's on the set, his other movie's coming out. So not only do you get to hang out with Jose, who's just okay, and me, I'm okay, but you get to hang out with Lance, a celebrity who's actually not just a has-been, he's a doer. He's currently has a movie that's coming out, and he's going to be shooting another movie. So Renee's going to be covering for him for the next 3 weeks, Tuesdays.
Lancelot, man, put me as an extra in one of your movies, man. Come on, man.
We got 2 extras right here.
I would love to. Well, first, Renee, thank you so much for
my pleasure
taking on it. Although I'm coming back, so don't get comfortable, because I truly enjoy these Tuesday mornings. This is special. I just finished. I have a movie coming out, The Veteran, which, by the way, has had 3 critics review it, and all 3 has given it thumbs up and said it's a must see. These are some of the top critics in the business in Hollywood. So this is excellent. It's coming out May 11th, and it's called The Veteran. And I'm also shooting another movie as it's coming out. I'll be in Detroit shooting Jordan's Love. So that is every, I would say, actor's, I wouldn't say dream, but what they would want to do is have a movie coming out while they're shooting another one. So I'm very blessed and humbled and appreciative, but I'm also appreciative of what we do here on Tuesday mornings. I think this is dynamic, and I think this is very needed, and I am proud to be a part of this, and I thank you, Renee. And one of the other things that I have to say is that I learn every single week. I walk out of here, I learn, and proximity is truly power. And Jose and Sifu constantly help me to grow, because my intention is, as an individual, not an actor, but as an individual, to get better and better, just 1% better each and every day. And when you hang around others who think and feel the same way, you have no choice, unless you're like unconsciously conscious, to be able to grow, because you're around other people that grow. And I appreciate you guys, and I appreciate you, Renee, for taking on the responsibility.
I just want to say, yes, we're going to be missing you, but we know you're doing great things. And when somebody like Matt says, I want to be a speaker, Matt, you're already a speaker. You mean you want to be a speaker in our room? So the best thing for you to do is go and get a VIP ticket. Do it now. And then once you do that, you and I can have a conversation about whether we're not just letting anybody be a speaker, because the intention of the room is very well protected, like Renee said earlier. And when Angeline, you said, I will be there too, girl, you just got to get your ticket.
Angeline!
say it. You
I
have
had
to do it. Take action. Take action. So this is my last words. What will your life be like if you allow other people to design it for you, or you take action yourself?
Deep. Deep. I will
Yes.
end my thought at the top of the hour here, and that is, if I had to just say one thing, and there's a lot of things I want to say at the end, but just to keep it tight, I would encourage you and challenge you, all of you that are watching live or catching a replay, be willing, and I'll say it again, be willing to invest more time, money, and energy into your journey as an entrepreneur. Stop holding everything so tight. I'm telling you, if you invest intentionally with your time, money, energy, resources, with time, what you're looking for will be there. And get into the rooms and seek the rooms that challenge you, not just validate you. That's my final thought.
Ooh, love that. Guess my final thought would be, think about when you walk into the room. Walk in the room with expectation. Be willing to stop performing for approval and shift and seek that transformation where you're in alignment with who you're meant to be. Those connections are powerful. Your influence will grow, and you will grow because you will have more than you thought possible. I'm Renee Jackson-Smith of Soar to Win. I would love to connect with you on Instagram. Let's have a conversation, and I'll tell you why you need to be in the room.
All right.
Definitely.
My final thought is growth. Think about 1% better each and every day. And how you do that is about the environment you surround yourself with. So it's very important in 2026 to get around like-minded people that are doing what you want to do. And those people will help you to elevate yourself. And that is how you get better. 1% better each and every day, working towards growth. And the best way to work towards growth is to curate an environment that that elevates that. And that's my thought, my final thought.
Love it. Everybody have a blessed day, and we will see you next Tuesday, but we would love to see you in Tampa. Don't hesitate. Get your tickets today. Procrastination is not the key. Action is. Take
It's
care,
a
everybody.
procrastination tax.
Yes, definitely.
All right, guys, have a great week.
Everyone who's in the room is all about giving. Everyone who show up here and who are in the room are just givers, and they just want everyone to become better and better entrepreneurs, better founders, better coaches, better givers. You are going to meet the best of the best in this room, and it's an intimate experience, right? Sometimes you go to events where there are hundreds or thousands of people, and here in the New York City Mastermind, it's an intimate experience. So you really get to know them. You get to know them as people and not as just a number that's out there. So I highly recommend New York City Mastermind to anyone.